This video is on how to fade a color of chalk pastel from dark to light to dark again. Before you get started, a couple things. Make sure you're dealing with chalk pastel, so that's the one that gets smeary all over your fingers as soon as you're using it. Please choose a color that is medium range darkness to dark. So red would be a medium range darkness color. Dark would be like probably purple or blue or black. Okay, so choose a color that's medium range darkness to dark. Then you're going to choose a color that is much lighter. White is obviously our lightest color, but if you're doing an analogous fade, yellow could also work along with peach or maybe even orange, just depending. Okay. Secondly, please make sure that your chalk pastels are cleaned off completely before you get started. So I did that to my white really quickly before I started. Take your darker color, and what I would like you guys to do is go from dark to medium to lightest to medium to dark again. So you can watch me do this on my paper. And remember, with the cards, try and take your color off onto the table itself. All right. So I'm going to fade gradually from dark, hard pressure, to medium, to light. Doing bad with the light pressure. Okay, so lightest pressure is toward the middle. It's going to look something like this. I'm going to do the paper flip halfway through and do the same thing on the other side. So hard pressure, medium pressure, lightest pressure, in the middle. Okay, so something that looks more like that. Okay, it's not the best initial fade, but it might work. Second color, remember the second color is your blender, so you're going to press really hard with this so that it kind of blends the two colors together before you use your finger. So I'm going to start with the white in the middle. I'm going to press really hard with it, and what I'm doing is as I go across the paper, I'm going to look for where those little whites of the paper go away. So basically right in here, I'm going to let off the pressure, keep this area pure red. See how it's kind of a little bit darker on the tip of my chalk pastel. I'm going to clean that off before I go the other way. So I cleaned it off so it looks like this. So I want to preserve that white of the paper so that it is the lightest part. Okay, so I'm looking for this area here to be the lightest, and I'm going to go ahead and press really hard with this. Go all the way right to here. I'm going to start to let off the pressure and letting off completely right in there. I missed that spot right there. Okay, so I have something that looks like this. This actually looks pretty decent. Now at this point in time, you have some options as an artist. If you feel like you have lost some of your darker range values, you're probably going to want to smear a little bit inward with the dark. If you feel like it's not light enough in the middle, you might want to set this powder. So I think I'm going to try and set it a couple different ways, but first things first, make sure your fingers are cleaned off. Mine are actually, do that real fast, mine are free of any excess powder, so I think I should be good. I'm going to try on this side actually, just for kicks, going from lightest to darkest with setting the powder. Okay, so mine looks like that. That looks okay. Let me try on this side doing darkest to lightest, just out of curiosity. Kind of like the way that looks a little bit better, actually. Your goal with this, though, is to keep it really light in the middle and to have it gradually fade. Okay, so this is what my fingers look like. So you might want to, if it's not super light here, use your finger, hard, medium, light this way, and then switch fingers. Light, medium, hard this way. That would probably work with preserving the light in the middle. Okay, why do you have to switch fingers halfway? Well, if you drag it from this way to this way, you're going to have the red, you're going to have this color red on your finger, and if you put it in the middle again, it's actually going to make that darker. So you might want to either wipe your fingers halfway or switch fingers to go the opposite way, and that'll preserve your light.